If you're a parent, tell me if this sounds familiar. You've just made a delicious dinner, you've spent a lot of time prepping it, you've meal prepped, you've grocery shopped for the right ingredients, you're excited to serve it, you plate it, your child pushes the plate away. That's disgusting. I'm not eating that. I'm not hungry, right? We start hearing this, they don't touch the food. You're frustrated, you're overwhelmed, you're unsure where to go from here. Maybe you threaten, maybe you're bribing, maybe you offer the mac and cheese or the peanut butter and jelly again. Sound familiar? Hi, I'm Sarah Schlichter. I'm a registered dietitian and feeding families expert. I have 3 kids of my own, and I'm here to share 5 important tips to keep in mind for these situations to help you navigate them in the future. Number 3 and 4 are really important, so you might want to save those. Before you start getting all hyped up and frustrated, try to stay calm. Tell yourself this is normal. It honestly is normal for kids to feel this way. It's probably happened over time, and there are phrases and things you can do before we even serve that food that can help change this trajectory, but you're not doing anything wrong, okay? I know you're trying your best. You're watching this video, you care. Remember, kids' appetites change day to day. Their hunger changes. Feeding kids is very nuanced, which is why this is such a big topic. Dinner is also a time of day when most of us are very stressed, right? We're done working, our energy is low, maybe there's still so much to do and fit in before we can even think about going to bed. So dinner is oftentimes a high tension environment. Step 1, don't negotiate. I know this is easier said than done. I've been there, believe me, I've done it myself. Even as a dietitian, I know better, but I've done it. Just eat 1 more bite. Okay, well, if you eat 2 more bites, then you can have dessert. Try this food and XYZ, right? It might work in the short term. Honestly, it might work for a few times. But the long term, we're not teaching our kids to become intuitive, exploratory eaters, right? We're teaching them if they try something, they are good and they deserve a reward. But we don't want food to be tied to rewards. So the threatening, the punishment, all of the emotions tied up in food, we really want to try to let go. And this takes time, which is why I need you to practice this and make sure you keep watching the rest of the tips. The more attention that you're giving your child for refusing food, the stronger the power struggle is going to be. Simple phrases like, I hear you. You want mac and cheese tonight, but this is what we're having tonight. This is the dinner I've made tonight. If you don't want to eat it, we can try again later. We can serve it again before bed, but this is what we're having tonight. You choose what feels good on your plate. I love that saying when you say to your kid, you choose what you'd like to eat tonight. Okay, this is what we're serving. These are the options. You get to decide what you want to try, because it's up in the air. It's kind of curious. Oh, I get to decide. We're giving them autonomy, and that leads us into step 2, which is always have a safe food. Now, a safe food, also called a comfortable food, something that you know your child likes. Maybe it's yogurt with blueberries. Maybe it's bread with butter or bread with peanut butter, strawberries, right? Ideally, it's something with nutrition. It doesn't even have to match with your meal, right? But this is something that you know, worst case scenario, right? Your kid doesn't eat anything on their plate. There is something on the table that they will eat. From a child's point of view, mom thought of me. Oh, she knows I love raspberries, right? That's important. Plus, having a safe food establishes comfort. We want them to feel comfortable because the goal from here, even if it takes weeks, is to then try something else, try something new on the plate. Well, there's strawberries on my plate. I know I like those. Oh, that's next to that Mexican rice. I've never tried that before. It looks interesting. Maybe the first few times the child doesn't try it, but maybe the 3rd time he does. Having a safe food really helps reduce any intimidation, because a small child seeing all of these new foods for the first time, or foods they don't prefer, can be really overwhelming and honestly easy for the child to check out. I don't like any of these foods. I'm not eating this. Always have that safe food. Tip 3, let them decide how much to eat. This is counterintuitive to all of us who grew up in the clean plate club, myself included. Our parents were doing the best they could, right? No shame. However, things are different today. We know a lot more about power struggles and pressure at the table. And there is a framework called the Division of Responsibility. It's from registered dietitian and feeding expert Ellen Satter. And this framework can change your life. once you start to live by it. It says that as the parent, you decide what is served for dinner, not your child. It's not saying, oh, you want mac and cheese again? Okay. It's, I made this ground beef and rice skillet. This is what's for dinner. You have to have that boundary in place, but you decide what's for dinner. The child decides if they choose to eat it, and if they do, how much. We want our children to become autonomous eaters. We have to give them this permission. It's going to be hard at first, and oftentimes I have parents, put their hands behind their back, just start talking about other topics, not about the food. Again, the more pressure, the more attention we're putting on the food that they're not eating, the larger the power struggle can become. So talk about other parts of the day. You can talk about the texture. What does that feel like? What do you think it tastes like? We want to entice curiosity, but we don't want to say, eat that. Eat 3 more bites. Oh, dessert's coming, but you got to finish your plate. Okay. If you start to navigate these meal times with the division of responsibility, I promise it will start to help. Step 4. This is so important, but so hard. This is the hardest step for parents. Hold that boundary. If they choose not to eat dinner, don't say, okay, I'll make you that peanut butter and jelly. Okay, we can have mac and cheese again, right? We want to teach them this is the meal. It's up to them if they want to consume it. This is what's served now. The next time to eat will be a bedtime snack. You can remind them when the next snack or meal is coming. If it is bedtime snacks, they may be a family-to-family decision. If you choose to offer a bedtime snack, I'm going to link to a whole resource here I have about bedtime snacks. Just make sure it's boring and ideally nutritious. We don't want them to think they can have this exciting popsicle or ice cream as a bedtime snack when they don't eat dinner, because then we're teaching them, skip dinner, you're still gonna have ice cream later, right? So if you're doing a bedtime snack, I urge you to listen to this podcast episode or read this blog post. Otherwise, you can say, this is what's for dinner. We're not making another meal tonight. I understand you want that for dinner, and we'll save that for later this week. We had mac and cheese last night. Tonight we're having this, right? We can just keep it to that. We have to have the boundaries in place. This is going to be hard. You don't want your child to go to bed hungry. The more we do this, ideally, the quicker they learn, right? Being hungry doesn't feel good. We want them to tune into that hunger, that fullness. We want them to know what those feel like. And honestly, the only way they know is if they experience it without us interfering. In short, kids learn to eat over time. It's not a one-time instance. If they don't eat dinner, it's not make or break for their nutrition, right? It's one meal in the scheme of things. Now, there's a lot more to talk about what's happening before dinner. If your child is not hungry, are they having a large after-school snack? Every child is different, and as a parent, the patterns we set up matter, but the words we use and the environment we create matters. So staying away from that pressure, that tension, that bribery is really going to help in the long term. Believe me, I've been there. I'm a dietitian. I know better. I still bribe my kids sometimes, right? We're learning. We're all going through this together. If mealtimes feel stressful in your house, make sure to follow along and hit subscribe, because I share plenty of mealtime nutrition tips and easy family recipes to help make feeding your family easier.